This is a video to show you how to build up some distance from your dog when they are settling on the mat. So I've got Bosun here with me today. Yes, thank you, darling. And this is Bosun's mat that we use when we go to pubs or friends' houses or family, and we take this, which indicates lay on it and don't do anything else. So you have to build up your distractions and your distance and your duration separately. If you haven't done yet, I recommend watching the duration building video before working on distance. So the duration building teaches the dog how to relax fully when they're on a mat and how to lower their head and not be so alert and so much like a Sphinx cat waiting and watching you. So the problem that we have with building distance is we always want to build up too fast too soon, and quite often we have this habit of just staring at the dog and watching their every movement, and we do this when we work on stay or wait or settle or anything which involves the dog being stationary. We become quite robotic in what we do, very starey and very rigid. So instead, I'm going to teach you how to relax a little bit when you're teaching your dog how to just remain on their mat. So because you're building duration, you want something that's a bit comfortable. You can use things like bath mats and towels for teaching this behaviour, but if you're going somewhere where you want the dog to lay for a longer period of time, then I suggest actually having something that's comfortable for them to lay on for a long period of time, because ultimately it is the hard floor that's underneath them. So Bosun is 14 now, 14 and a half, and he struggles with joint trouble too. So if he does break laying on the mat before I ask him to move and get up, I usually assume it's due to being a bit achy, being a bit uncomfortable. So you need to be aware of that with your dog as well. If they have any joint trouble, or if they can't lay comfortably for a long period of time, it could be an indication that there is something muscular or in their bone structure that is uncomfortable for them. It could be due to their breed and the way that they're built, which makes it uncomfortable for them to lay still for a long period of time. So don't always assume that if a dog breaks their settling on a mat, it's because they're choosing to be disobedient or choosing to be bored of it or frustrated with it. It can sometimes be because it's actually just uncomfortable. So always keep that in mind. I do like to teach dogs to get off the mat when I ask them to and not to otherwise, but of course it does depend on, as I say, their own comfort level too. So keep that in mind when you're training this. So what I'm going to do is place this mat out, and then I'm going to reward the mat when Bosun chooses to lay on it. I'm not going to reward the mat before he lays down, because I know he knows how to approach a mat and lay on it as soon as it's placed out. So that is because I've worked on settle with him already for quite a long time. So depending on where your dog is at, if they don't have any understanding of what a mat is or what it means, then I suggest watching the video that I did with Riv, my Doberman Cross, to work on building a huge association with a mat and building drive and excitement for the mat. Once you've built that in, you then want to watch the video that I did with Bosun for building in duration, building calmness and not being so alert and ready to move when they're on the mat. And then you can start building in distractions when you're out and about, and some distance work, so you not needing to stand right next to the mat all the time. So if you'll wake up, I'll show this. So I've got my treat pouch on me. I don't actually have it hidden, but I recommend you do have yours hidden, or you have your treats in your pocket and your hand out of your pocket, so that the dog has not got a visual of the food or with the food potentially coming to them, because dogs want to follow food. If you have food in your hand or food where they can visibly see it, they're much more likely to break their settle and to come and follow you. So keep it out the way, keep your hands out your pocket until you're getting your reward to give them. So we'll see if we can get up. Okay. I've rewarded him for coming away. I'm going to place his mat out, and I'm going to wait for him to come and lay on it. This might be the longest you've ever waited before actually laying on it. Oh, there we are. going to put that one down to old age. Good boy. So I'm just going to place the reward in between his feet. Just going to reward him for choosing to be on the mat to begin with. He's choosing to be here. I know, it's very tired life, isn't it, darling? And you can see his legs are laying comfortably. So he's laying on a hip as opposed to laying like a Sphinx cat, which is really good. That's what I want because it's relaxed. So with each treat, I'm placing it calmly in between his paws. I'm not trying to give him too much eye contact or look at him or give him any indication that anything is fun. I'm just working on building a bit of duration and then a bit of distraction. So at the moment, this is distraction. You see, I'm moving my feet, moving my legs around. Instead of standing still and being very robotic, I'm going to move my feet because this is your first step to distance. Some dogs will get up as soon as you start doing this. So you might need to work at this level for a little bit. Moving your knees, moving his feet, just swaying from side to side to begin with, depending on your dog's comfort level of feet being moved near their face. Will depend on how much movement you can put in at this closeness. But work with your dog with what they're happy with. Ultimately, we want them to be comfortable and relaxed. So I'm just going to take a treat and place it in between his feet. So you notice I'm not saying yes or good or nice. I'm not marking this because those words have a lot of power in them. They're very exciting words and they are certainly what will excite Bosun. So I don't use them when I'm working on calm behaviours. So I'm just going to sway. I'm going to take a step this way and sway. So you notice my feet haven't actually moved. They're just swaying. They're just being lifted. This is the first step to building a bit of distance. Just getting your dog comfortable with you moving around. I know, I'm sorry. So that could be stress yawn because he's not getting the food quickly. To be honest, I don't usually have much food on me with Bosun when we do this because he knows this now. So this could be stress yawn because the food isn't coming. Could be due to movement being near him. Could just be because he's tired. To be honest, he's 14 and a half. He sleeps a lot. I'm pretty sure he's due a nap after his other nap. So the yawn may be a sleepy yawn, but keep in mind if your dog is lip licking a lot, yawning a lot, blinking a lot, looking away from you a lot, if they keep breaking their settle, it could be because they're stressed and they need a break or you to break it down smaller for them. So keep in mind what they've been doing in the day, keep in mind how much they enjoy doing their training. Is it stressful for them? So if I get any lowering of the head, I'm going to reward him. So first step to take, I recommend, is to the side. Not away from them, to the side of them. Step back. Take another step. Come back. And reward. Really calm. So you may notice his head is popping up every time I put my hand in my treat pouch. You may want to wait until your dog keeps their head lowered on the floor. That depends on what you're looking for with your dog. If you're at the early stage of this, I would take any kind of being relaxed and reward that. So because he's put his head there, I'm going to reward his head exactly where it is. That's just my feathering in. So I'm going to take a step this way and I'm going to move my foot, weight here, and then I'm going to take a step back again. And then reward him for staying still. I'm just going to ask him to move, just so that he can have a bit of a break from his joints in case this is uncomfortable. I'm going to do it nice and calmly. Off. Pick your mat up. Place it back down again. slow today. Super slow at laying down today. So that might be a little bit of discomfort because of his joints, so it might be difficult for him to lay down at the minute. So don't mind if it's super slow, that's fine. Just laying down is important. So I'm going to take a step back towards the camera now. So one step back, keeping an eye that the dog is happy to be there, but not staring. And then return. So you always want to wait for a second when you return. You don't want to rush to feed them as soon as you get back, because you want them to think every time you come back they're going to get fed, or every time you come back they're going to get off. So notice I'm still keeping my movement going. I'm still here, I'm still flowing about, feet are moving, hips are moving. And a lot of that is just to keep it normal. The movement can be ignored. So I'm starting to place them now where his head is when he's resting, rather than keep placing it in between his paws, because he actually feels more comfortable with his head in this position instead, where it's gone now. So you then start to build up, turning away slightly, coming back, and wiggling around a bit more. A bit like an exercise class. So remember to always cue your dog to get off so that they're not breaking it. If you think they're about to break it, cue them off before they do. Ask them to get off before they break it. And then always pick your mat up, always. Don't always be in a rush to move too much distance. You don't want to keep adding to it. You want to ping pong between being difficult, being easy, being medium, difficult, medium, easy, really super easy, really difficult. And just kind of ping pong around. Don't always keep making it harder. Dogs don't like things when it always gets harder because they lose fun in it. It's frustrating. Award that last one because that's lovely. And then I'll ask him to get off. So again, I'm not doing throwing food off because I don't want it to be too exciting, because I'm building distraction, distance, duration. So this is where we want calmer behaviour. Off.